Today we're going to make some really cute earrings using dried flowers and UV resin. We're still going to stick with our Valentine's Day theme, and these are going to be similar to what we made the other day, but there are going to be circles instead of hearts, and we're going to use an electric drill, which I've never used before, so it gets interesting. I tried once and it didn't go so well. You'll see how it goes. So this is UV resin I'm putting directly into the mold. And I popped the bubbles with a lighter, which I didn't show on the video. And I actually tore all the remaining flowers, not the whole set, but what we had used the other day, there was still some left. So that little pile there, I just went ahead and tore them all into little tiny pieces. And I'm just joining them together in these earrings. And I really love the result. And they'll go good with my other pairs when I take them to the shop. So these are really, really pretty. I love all the purple and pink colors together. And they all have a slightly different texture, which actually works out really well. Like the pink almost, the pink becomes kind of see-through and you can see the veins in its leaves and it's so pretty. See how I have the stems? I even left the stems in. That stem right there, I ended up having to take it out because it was too big. So then pop the bubbles. Put it under the UV Resin Light for 3 minutes. And I flip it on the other side, and I also cured it for 2 minutes on the other side, like at the back. So this is the first attempt at the drill. I was really nervous. I'd always only ever did a hand drill before. Oh, see, look, it went off the earring and it got my glove. Thankfully, it didn't get my finger. It just got the glove part on the edge. So then I'm like, well, okay, so maybe I will put it down onto the silicone mat. So that worked a little bit, but what I didn't do is start the drill before I got it to the resin piece. So it kind of scratched it. So then I'm like, okay, what if I start the drill before I get there? And that worked really well, but I was a little bit too far into the mat. So where it did work and I did get the hole is stop the drill because the drill accidentally hit the mat. So here's me still learning. And I'm kind of starting to get the hang of it at this point. And this is the drill. It has 3 settings. And you just push it. And it works really good. And it's pretty powerful because UV resin, I can't actually hand drill UV resin. So when I was doing a project that I would use eye screws for, I knew that I just couldn't use UV resin. So now I can because this drill went right through it. So this is when I learned. I went to the edge of the mat. That way my drill wouldn't hit it at all. And look how fast I can do it now. I just 1, 2, and it was done. But with a hand drill, especially when you're doing a ton of keychains at once, it can really start to hurt your hands. So this is going to be perfect for me. I'm going to use it all the time. But yeah, that was my adventure of learning how to use that thing. So now I put some UV resin down, put my studs, and then put it under the UV resin lamp for a minute. And then I came back and put some on top, and we're going to dome the back of those, covering up that entire stud. That way it looks nice and professional and clean on the back. And those studs will not come off once you do this process. So yes, if you're thinking about getting an electric drill, I would highly suggest it. It does make it a lot easier. I just never made the investment before, even though I think this drill was only like $20 some or something. I can't remember exactly, but it was just the premise of it for me. But I was like, my hands are about done, so I went ahead and got me a drill. So now you can do the same with the little studs, the same process, and then you'll want to let this cure, the finished product, for about 3 minutes under the UV lamp until it's not tacky on the back anymore. And then we will go ahead and take our eye screws. I got this cute little pack of eye screws. It's got 3 different sizes of silver and gold. And this is me trying to figure out whether I want to use silver or gold in these. But I went ahead and I chose gold. And I used the smallest drill bit on the drill, but it still was slightly big for the eye screws. So this is what I'll show you what happened. So when I went to screw this in, because I'm using the tiniest one just so it'll be, because they're little pieces and I wanted it to look dainty. So it just slides right in, and that won't work because it'll fall right out eventually. So what I did is I'm going to have to put UV resin on the eye screw and then place it in there. And this is how I did that. So I took the eye screw and held it with my pliers, dipped it in some UV resin, and then I'm going to put it directly in that hole we drilled. Now, I don't know if this was user error, because again, this was my first time using it, but some of them, it was able to screw in and it didn't just slide in. So it could have been just me holding it wrong. But anyway, no matter what, this is just going to make your piece that much more secure by putting some UV resin in that hole. And it also will take away that sanded look that the drill gives you inside too. So, I mean, it's probably a good step to add anyway, just to make sure it's extra stuck. See, this actually screwed in. So this one worked well. So it probably was user error of me in the drill. But I'll get the hang of it eventually. By the end of these, I was doing pretty good. So I already learned some new tricks. Put in the comments if you've ever used an electric resin drill before, because this was my first time. So as you do that, you're going to have to cure those because you put UV resin in it. So just stick them under the UV lamp for a couple minutes and make those eye screws stick really well. So then you just put a jump ring and an earring hook on it. Close that up and make it look nice and even. So here I'm just going to put the big studs on our little single display card for studs. And these are bigger than the other, and I'll show you the size comparison in a second, side by side once they're on the display cards. I love these little rubber backs. I have this pack and it lasts like forever. It really does. It lasts a really long time. So I use those for all of my projects. These turned out really pretty. So here's the size difference. You can tell there's a big size and a little size. Then I've got all of those on their display cards. And I wanted to show them to you in the light a little better. So here they are. You can see all the different colors in there and the textures, and they turned out so beautiful, and I love them. And I hope you have a great, blessed day.